Well, hello, welcome back. It is now week 4. This is going to be for the dates. Let me see. April 25th to May 1st. So I always do mine from Saturday to Friday. So this, of course, is week 4's first video. This is the health update. And welcome to anybody that is new here. Please check out my original video. It tells you about my story, what happened a year ago, to kind of kickstart me into this whole journey. My little calico journey, and that little calico journey came up as we went because I love cats. I have cats everywhere, and it just became a thing. So here we are. So it's cool. Anyway, so the health journey, as y'all know, is where we're going to first talk about what has changed my week, because this is kind of blogish, which means, I'm going to tell you this is how much I've gained, this is what I did, stuff like that. And then my basic thing that I've kind of come up with over the last few weeks and may tweak a little bit is, so we're going to do first the health updates, and then we're going to do like a little health thing every week, like just kind of go over something and just let you know, again, I am not a doctor. This is all through Google, but some good tips and stuff like that. I'll give you a weekly update. Like what's been going on this week, other than this is my stats, and maybe give some stuff about the next week if I've thought of any. So that's how we're going to start. So let's dive right in. We're going to start with part 1. So again, this is going to be my health update from last week. So the first thing we're going to talk about is my weight. Now in total, let me see here. I really should make notes. I am 1.1 pounds down since last Friday. So the difference last Friday and this Friday. Throughout the week, it did kind of do some fluctuations. Like it went down 0.2, went down 0.6, a nice big down 1.2, then went up 0.7, and went up a little bit the very last day. That's okay. So basically, it has just been another week, another win for me. Again, I started at 235 last week, and then this week I hit a new low of 233 on Thursday. But like I said, on Friday I had a little bit of a up, but it happens, especially if you do it every day. This is why a lot of places say to do it weekly. I just do it daily because why not? Anyways, but yeah, 233 is we'll go since like my 20s. It is my lowest weight yet, and of course it went up a little bit. And that's okay. We're working on it. So we ended off this Friday with 234.1. So again, those fluctuations completely normal. Just to let you know, those water fluctuations could be due to water retention. It could be due to your meal time. I eat late. It could be due to your meal timing, stuff like that. So that's okay. But again, 1.1 pounds down from last week. That is since our first recorded date. Back in, I believe, August, 51.9 pounds. And then from the first weight, which I'm pretty sure I overheard the doctor say when I first started all this stuff, I'm actually down 61 pounds. That's a lot. That's a lot of stuff to carry on my poor body that has been, hating my guts. So that, again, but that is for my estimate one. So we keep going down, and we're all for it. So yay, it's good. Perfect. So next we're going to talk about my blood pressure. Again, blood pressure for me is very important. That seizure last year was due to very high blood pressure and very high blood sugar, so I have to keep a very close eye on that. I did manage to record every day. I didn't record 3 times a day on the weekends because we're all lucky that I recorded once on the weekend. I'm here. I'm doing this on the weekend. I don't really think about too much other stuff, so kind of like my rest days. I don't do walking and stuff like that, but that's okay. But we got a weekly average of 108/69, which is really good. And that's in the normal range. I do have some higher normal morning readings, which kind of fluctuate that. I spoke about last week. I kind of wake up in a panic, so it's going to be normal. You wake up in a panic, your blood pressure goes up. So that's a little bit normal, a little bit stressed on there, but for the average, it's pretty good. It does say that 134/79 Wednesday morning was my highest. I don't remember what it was. There was very little sleep, but that's okay. But by the afternoon, it did drop to a normal 89/61. So, hey me. Let's see here. And then, yeah, it's been falling comfortably into those healthy zones. My afternoon readings are tending to be the lowest. I do most of my exercise in the afternoon, of course, and I'm calming down. I do my breathing exercises, which helps you, so that is good. Now, just to let you know, in all these, I do have it so that it has a little Professor Calico blurb. We've spoken about her. She is I'm using her as the one that's going to drop you in the pictures and stuff like that, some medical knowledge and stuff like that we've looked up. But anyways, she gives me a pause up. So, blood pressure good, yay. Heart rate's been kind of going the same as the blood pressure in the mornings, kind of elevated. Again, you wake up in a panic. It's not just your blood pressure, it's up your heart rate. Your heart's, going, okay, something's happening. So they're all going to be a little bit high, but for the average for the week, I got 93, whatever that is, heart rates per minute or something. My average resting heart rate was 93, so yeah, and those high ones don't really help. But those high readings I do get, like I guess Wednesday I had like 100 reading and stuff like that. They're usually in the mornings, and then by the afternoon they've gone down, and then by the end of the night when I do my blood pressure and all my exercises and stuff, they are just nice and calm and steady. So gradual downward trend. It's going the way it's going. It's not like even my highs aren't like something I really need to worry about, because it might be a little bit, it's not even that high. Like, if it continued to do that, we might be going, maybe my next doctor's appointment, gotta bring this up. It hasn't got to the point where I'm just like, yeah, I gotta go to the hospital. That's good. That's very good. Next, we're gonna talk about my sugars. I added in some information on those because your sugars do kind of depend when you test them on like how long ago you ate and stuff like that. Not only just what you ate. So, I mean, you can actually sit at a higher blood sugar range for a few hours because you ate, and then your body adjusts and stuff like that, and that's good. So I do have some little bit of high ones, but I added in those meal times with it so that way we could compare, okay, well, if it was high, when did I eat last? So finding that out, and as in this thing says, does get interesting, and so we're going to talk about that timing. So in the mornings, of course, I'm fasting, and some mornings I actually ate breakfast this week, but on a normal basis, I really don't. It's just not what I do. But so fasting in the mornings, I usually take these before I eat. So my readings are usually generally in the 100 to the 127 range, which is decent. Now there's some days that I took them after, like not too long after I ate, because I wanted to get a reading, to be perfectly honest, is why I did it. So it looks like Tuesday afternoon, it spiked to 180, but that was about 2 hours after I ate, and in the mid-morning. And then Friday again hit 172. It's again 2 hours about after I ate. Now we're looking at, let me see here what I say, Tuesday afternoon was 180, like I said, and that was about 2 hours after I ate. By Tuesday evening, I was back down to 108, so my body readjusted. And then the next day was Friday, so we talked about that 172. And then by that evening, a little highish, but it was at 136, so it was still kind of doing its thing. Plus, honestly, Tuesday I exercised. Y'all like to talk. Friday I did not. Friday I was tired. We'll talk about that in a little bit. It was a rough week, but we'll talk about that with everything and how it all looked versus what I actually did this week. Because, like I said, everything affects everything. Yeah, it's saying on the flip side. And it's saying that, again, whenever I actually did activity, that's what's helping bring down those numbers. So if your sugars are starting to get high, or your doctor's like, I think you might be diabetic, get some exercise. It's not just lose weight. I mean, in my head, I was just like, they're just trying to help me get skinny. It's not that I don't want to be skinny. I just don't want to do the work. At least I didn't. But I'm like, that's all they're saying. I don't understand this. But no, in all honesty, one thing I have noticed is true is the more activity you do, more than likely the lower your sugar is going to be, especially if you're like me. I mean, I'm type 2. I'm starting to get back in that normal range, starting to get my body back in that normal range. Diabetes does run in my family rapidly, both sides. So I mean, there's a possibility it might never go away, but it's also possible because I just wasn't taking care of my body, that my body said, okay, well, we're gonna have some problems. So that's me though. Again, that might not be you. I'm not saying because you're, that you're this way because I'm this way. Yeah, I remember just telling you about me. But, and of course I don't know about type 1, that could be a whole different story. I'm sorry for y'all. I've known some people that have that, and it looks rough. Like, I think this is rough. I don't even want to know. But yeah, glucose wasn't doing so bad. I did put in my sleep. And then also what I did this week is not only did I put in like how long I slept, because my Fitbit takes care of that. I also took screenshots from my little Fitbit and I stuck it in my Copilot and said, okay, compare. And it did. And it cried a little bit. Just to let you know, Wednesday I did put in like 4 to 5 hours because I fell asleep without my watch on, and I left it on the charger. So that's the way I guess of the day. So just pre-warning on that one. But this week we got let's see here, an average this week I got 5 hours and 53 minutes. Not so good. Sunday apparently was the star of the week. I got 7 hours and 46 minutes because when you don't sleep as much as I do, you usually will have a day that your body's just like, oh no, this is catch-up day. And it's usually a weekend because there's usually no alarms involved, because I have to get up on weekdays, so yay. It does say here's some interesting things from my sleep stages. So that's what my Fitbit does. It actually shows like my deep sleep versus this. My deep sleep was remarkably consistent all the week. I hovered around an hour to an hour and 15 minutes every single night, even on some of those rough nights. Because again, I have nights I toss and turn and stuff like that. So it's actually good. Tuesday, my sleep score, because Fitbit gives you sleep scores too. By the way, just let you know, I love the Fitbit. I don't know what Apple Watch does. So all this is based on what I know and what I have. And who knows, might get Apple Watch someday, but we'll go over that later. Okay. So I actually the reason it was so poor is I woke up sometime during the night and I stayed up for a few hours because that's what happens. I just can't fall back asleep and then I pass back out. So it was pretty bad. And it does say it kind of tracks with the, I guess they can see where the morning panics are. And it's also yelling at me because most of my nights I'm not falling around asleep until around 2 to 5 a.m. I have to be up at like 8:30. But I don't. I'm a night owl. So this just means that my body's really not getting the enough total hours I need, even when so I get pretty, like, I sleep like a rock when I sleep. Like, I'm out. That's it. Problem is I don't sleep long. And some of that has to do with I can't fall asleep for a while. I used to work third shift and my body never quite went to, oh, it's morning time. I don't really like having to work a day job, but it's a good job. But either way, it's okay. I figure it out. But then Friday, it says exception was I was asleep by 10 p.m. That's because I was exhausted and was like, no, nighty night, bye-bye. And gave me a pretty good score at 87. But yeah, it does tell a story. So it just lets you know when you sleep, it's not only how long you sleep, it is also basically when you fall asleep and how well you fall asleep. When I say when, like if you're falling asleep at 2 a.m. and you're waking up 8 hours later at 10, 11, and it's pretty solid sleep, that's good. So it's just, I have to be up early. So me falling asleep at 2 a.m. is a little bit different. Yeah. It does say baby steps, and my Professor Calico gave me a prescription and it said more Fridays, fewer Tuesdays. That'd be nice. I don't do well I fail when it comes to sleep, but someday we'll start working on sleep one of these days, just apparently not today. And that's okay. Anyways, next we're going to talk about the steps I did this week. Like I said, this week was a little bit rough, and of course Saturday and Sundays. If I reached 1,000 steps, it's a miracle, or it means I actually went out and did something, actually felt like doing something. That doesn't happen too often. Yeah. Rest days. Saturday and Sunday are usually my rest days, so it's going to be normal to see that I have low steps on those days. Monday and Tuesday, I did start out pretty strong. I did my exercises. I was raring to go, good to go. And then Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, though I did reach around 5,000 steps, I of course did not reach my 7,500 that I like to. So I did do a total steps for this week was 38,312, and my average steps this week was 5,473. So like that, we were talking about this thing, you know, Monday, Tuesday start strong. Both of them, well, one was over 10,000, one was almost 10,000 steps, which is kind of normal on whenever I do these exercises. Of course, my week is intentional rest days, so those are lower by design, as we said. And as it went, Wednesday got eaten up by adulting. I had to adult that day, so I didn't do all my exercises. I'm a little annoyed, but I was like, whatever. Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do, you know, gotta do things, gotta adult. Thursday, I was just tired. I was so tired. I was exhausted, and yeah, still didn't get much sleep, but at least sometimes you're just so tired. And then Friday, I was still tired because I still didn't get enough sleep, and it was pouring rain outside, and I went, you know what? I'm gonna work on other stuff that's calmer. It's okay. It's all right. So we started strong. We're gonna come back swinging next week, starting Monday. That's usually, like I said, that's when I start my exercises. Because every step you do still counts. So, moral of the story, I understand a lot of people go, oh, I'll just do it next Monday. Oh, I'll start next Monday. And it's like, oh no, I never started. The thing is that you can have days that this happens. And you can have days that you just don't do it. And you can say, oh, next Monday, and it doesn't happen. But you need to keep saying, oh, next Monday. And one of those Mondays, you have to actually do it. Get back on the saddle. That's the point of this. So it's okay. It's okay, things happen. Happens to me a lot. But as long as you just keep going. That's about it. Don't give up. Okay? Next, much as I don't want to do this, I want to talk about water intake this week because didn't do so good on that one either. And I'll just let you know that again, the information I have in here, I only track whenever a bottle is finished. So if I have a 40-ounce bottle and I finished it, I track 40. I have a 40-ounce, I refill it. I get through 3/4 of it. I track none of it. So just to give FYI. Before our water bottles, as I promised, now, mind you, I am currently drinking soda. It is Diet or Zero or something like that, as you know. I want to tell you something about at least my experience real quick about being diabetic and sugars. Now really sugary food I can feel like, okay, it's getting to my head. But I'll kind of eat it. It's kind of slow. It takes a while. Sugar drinks, it's like immediate. Like I can feel it now. And it's not that happy, I have caffeine in my body, or I have sugar and I'm ready to go. It's more of a, I start to feel dizzy and it's weird. I can't quite explain what the feeling is, but it's, yeah, I don't just not drink sugary drinks because I shouldn't. I also don't drink them because I don't like the feeling it gives me. So whenever I do a soda, I do drink mostly water. I'm gonna show you my bottle for the week in a minute. I do drink mostly water. I don't actually drink soda that much anymore. But tonight I was like, I want soda. You want why? Because I had Chinese. Again, if you're on a diet too, that doesn't mean I can't eat things. Yes, you can. You just need to watch what you eat, track what you eat, and on the days that you eat just a little too much, you have to own up to it. And if own up to means you don't track it like I did tonight, I still know I did it. Like, I know, like, if I get a weight gain tomorrow or something like that, it's because I did it to myself. You know, just whatever, own up to it, it's okay. But before I tell you about my water intake, again, like I said, every week, because I still have my water bottle by me, I have it around me all day. This is currently the one I have. It's a little Easter Buc-ee's. My husband got me for Easter. He surprised me with it. I guess he got on, he goes out of town sometimes, but he stopped by Buc-ee's and hid it from me. And I don't know how, but he did, and I got my Buc-ee's. So yay. So yeah, all right. So let's talk about my water intake. So it does say, of course, my weekend water was low on the lower side. It usually is. And sometimes it's not. I just didn't track it because I'm lazy on the weekends, and that's okay. But Monday and Tuesday, we went back up to, I did 96 ounces and 80 ounces. I'm exercising, I'm drinking water. I'm just drinking water, drinking water, drinking water. So I do. In the midweek, when all that stuff happened, you know, the adulting and the tiredness and stuff, it did dip on the lower energy days. And then Friday, I was back up to 80 ounces because I was thirsty that day. So, but again, actual intake of the average I did drink this week, which is somewhere on here, or not. Either way, it did kind of dip this week. I probably drank more than I'm actually have on here, just not enough. But basically, always keep your water bottle close. When your motivation's low, just try to remember to drink water. I literally have at work an alarm every hour. What the alarm does is tell me, okay, take a breath, close your eyes, drink some water. I have to remind myself every hour, drink some water, because I forget to drink. I really do. And yeah, that's about it for that one. What else we got? Is this the last? I don't know. So next we're going to talk about the thing we started last week, which is basically your calories in versus your calories out, what we called CAT. Which we explained that, you know, eat more than your calories, you know, more your calories in than your calories out, you can gain weight. Eat way less than your calories in than your calories out, you can also gain weight because your body's like survival mode. So that's okay. So this week I did track 6 out of 7 days. There was one day I actually tracked a meal and then I forgot whatever the other meal was and I didn't track it. So I do have it so it doesn't count that day because things I don't actually know how many calories in there were. Tuesday I had my biggest deficit, negative 1,422. That means I ate that much less than my calorie output, according to my Fitbit. Friday was my smallest at 186. I didn't really do too much, so I didn't really have too much. Like, I had some exercises, of course, but I didn't have as much calories out. So, smaller deficit, of course. But on that, I am maintaining a consistent deficit, which is what matters most. And since Sunday wasn't fully tracked, we went over that. And yeah, overall pattern is a healthy range. Did I remember to get a average? No, because I'm tired. But I did actually get a lot done this week to hopefully help me move forward. Anyway, so I have a Professor Calico overall assessment. She says week 4 has a lot to celebrate. My weight continues to in the downward trend. It's hitting a new time low of 233 on the Thursday. Blood pressure average is a healthy 108/69. Heart rate is a steady 93 beats per minute. Glucose generally well managed. And of course with those post-meal afternoon spikes that we talked about being the main area to watch. That's about it. Sleep is the area Professor Calico has her eye on. Not because it's bad per se, but because it's the domino that tips everything else. Less sleep equals higher morning stress numbers, less motivation to move, and that cycle is going to continue. So yeah, here's the thing though, you can start. I did start the week strong. Monday and Tuesday were proof of what happens when energy is there. Of course, life happened midweek. When does life not happen? And instead of forcing it, I just decided to listen to my body. And as she says, that's smart. It's not a failure. It happens. It's okay. My calorie tracking is consistent. I tracked 6 out of 7 days this week. with a healthy average of my deficit. Yeah. So, Professor Calico approved. So yeah, that's been the overall week. So yay, there. All right. The next we're going to talk about measurements real quick. Again, I do take my measurements once a week. Yeah, I think I had an up, some downs, stuff like that. So, from this week, from my baseline, whatever that baseline was, I don't remember when the baseline, it was quite some time ago. It was not exactly a year ago, because I usually say it's usually around August, maybe but I don't know, this might have been September, I have no clue. But anyways, since then I have lost 21 inches from all my baseline, so in total. My bust from when I first started, it's here, is been down 5.75 inches. My waist has been down 5 inches. Hips down 5 inches. Both of my calves been down 2 inches. This week, and that's from the baseline. Now this week, let's see here. My waist, and just this week alone, it dropped about 3/4 of an inch. The hips lost 1/2 inch. Both my calves went down a little bit. Now my thighs, they go up a little bit. I don't know. Which is, it's not even that much. And it says it could easily be from the leg work you're putting in with my lunges and stuff like that. I do a lot of leg work. I need my legs to be strong. I need to be able to walk. So yeah, that makes sense. Let's see, my right arm is kind of staying steady where it is. It is an inch up from the baseline. And the left arm stayed where it was. And it just says that's muscle, plain and simple. You are literally reshaping your body. The scale says 51.9 pounds down, but the tape measure is telling the full story. So, yay. And yeah, I mean, some of that is, as you gain muscle, maybe, it becomes thing. And of course, the other part of it could just very well be that I suck at measuring myself. I don't know. So like I said, I mean, yeah, I'm going to say over time, I didn't like completely go, okay, since then, I've definitely lost no inches because I'm measuring wrong. That's there. Maybe not the total. Maybe I measured, whatever. But, I can at least say that. But it is possible things will fluctuate because I measured wrong. And it could be it fluctuates because it did. So, how's that? So we got over all that. That is the health update for me, which has taken 27 minutes. That's awesome. These videos are apparently never going to be short, and that's okay. I hope you make it through all of them. Maybe someday I've seen some people put like where they can put like, this is where the little, if you go to this part, it's this, that. I don't know, maybe I'll figure it out. No. And that's a cat trying to get up here. Anyway, we'll figure that out someday. But so we're done for the health update. That's what happened last week. That's all the changes. So as I said, next in this video, we're going to go over, I like to try to give some health information. Okay, so give me 1 second. Oh, that's not it. Okay, sorry. Cats like to come visit me, as we noticed, scratching posts, stuff like that. They're all in this room, so, and they don't use them unless I'm in this room because that's just what they do. Anyway, so this week we are going to talk about, and I'm going to try and give these things fun. Copilot does. I just go give it a fun name. It's like, what about this? And I'm like, ooh, that sounds good. So anyways, we're going to call it yarn. So this is basically your awareness, resilience, and nurturing. And this week's topic, we are going to talk about mental health and your body. So mental health is going to be the important thing this week. And as you know, again, as always, I do read off a Kindle because I don't want to miss any information. So if I look down, that's where I'm going, okay? So we're going to talk about how your mental health can, we're going to talk about something as soon as I get to the right part. All right. Right part, wrong part. It's okay. So this week for our yarn segment, we're going to talk about something that's really, really important to me. It's about your mental health. It's not just, take care of your mind only. I'm going to talk about how your mental health directly affects your physical health, your weight loss, everything that we're doing here today. Okay? Now, I know you've probably heard people say you can't truly love others until you learn how to love yourself. And guess what? In all honesty, that is true. That is really true. But here's the thing. Why wouldn't you love yourself? Yeah, you are awesome. Seriously, remember, you are awesome. You are you. So love yourself. But I know, I mean, there are things like anxiety, depression, stress that get in the way. They tell you otherwise, and they don't just mess with your head, they also mess with your body. All right. So here's what's really happening inside of you. When you're dealing with depression or anxiety, your body pumps out something called cortisol, and that is your stress hormone. My body apparently pumps out a lot of that. That's okay. And cortisol, it promotes fat storage, especially around your belly. Okay. It does ramp up your cravings for high calorie and high sugar foods. It'll mess with your sleep. And meanwhile, your serotonin and your dopamine, and those are the chemicals that make you feel good. They make you feel awarded. They make you feel, all that stuff. Well, they're going to drop. So cortisol up, that's down. So you got this perfect storm where your body is literally working against you. Weight loss becomes harder. Getting up becomes harder. Everything becomes harder. Right? Now, I know this personally. Now, when I was in my deep depression, I still struggled with that a little bit, but just this is new. I'm not used to being like happy. Anyways, but when I was in that deep depression that I've been in for so long, now I was able to drag myself out of bed to go to work because I had to. My brain, I was raised that way. I have to get up. If it's something that I have to get up for, I can drag myself out of bed for it. But after that, do you think I was exercising? No. Of course, the important part, I'm going to pause a second. Hold on. Of course, whenever I get to something important, my cats are like, I'm going to come in here and make as much noise as possible for as long as possible. So I try to catch that pause. Anyways, let's go back to what I was saying, because of course this was important. So again, I could get out of bed for work, but I was not exercising. Why would I? I'm tired. I don't want to. I just want to be in my own little cubby here. The anxiety was getting so bad that going outside was a problem. I just couldn't do it. Basically, those chemicals those chemicals that were changing inside of me were making my weight loss and my physical health even harder without me even realizing it. So here's the beautiful part, though. There's a win-win. Okay. Once you feel well enough to move, even a little, movement will actually help your mental health. Exercise actually does boost your serotonin, your dopamine, and it releases endorphins. Those are all those feel-good chemicals. So exercising actually releases the feel-good chemicals. I can tell you from personal experience, okay? Over time, regular movement actually lowers your cortisol levels. So yeah, so when you move, you're gonna feel it mentally. And you're gonna wanna move more. And the cycle starts working for you instead of against you. Now, I know that a lot of you are going to say, I really don't believe that. I hear it all the time, but I don't believe it. Why do I know you say that? Because I said it. Because I knew when my mom made me go for those little runs down that little road, I was crying. I didn't want to do it. I didn't feel good. I walked. I was not happy. There was no serotonin there. So there's no way that could be a thing. But here's the thing. It is actually a thing. It is actually true. Take my journey as proof. This is the one thing I can say with confidence. The more you move, the better you'll feel, and it'll help anyone. Everything I'm like, well, this will work for me. It might not work for you. One thing I will tell you is just, if you can move, do something, okay? So I'm gonna keep it real. Now, moving, I don't mean it's not gonna change everything. It's not gonna, it may not be your cure-all. Often it's helped me out greatly, but it's not a cure-all. So just to be real with you, there are mental disorders. They are real. You have one, it's real. But they are medical conditions, and sometimes they do require some extra help. such as therapy, medication, professional support. And there's nothing wrong with that. If you need it, you take it. You take what help you can get you. You take whatever makes you feel better. That's the whole point. But at some times when you're low, in all honesty, movement is all you need. Like I said, not everyone, but sometimes. And even if you need more than just movement, at least the movement will help alleviate some of those symptoms. So it's never wasted. So even if you're like, movement doesn't help me, you know, in all honesty, it should help you feel just a little bit happier. And that's what you want. You want to feel just a little bit happier. So movement, it's very, very, very important, okay? And of course, it's not just the movement. So we're going to talk about this. You can actually retrain your brain. This is something you do, and we're going to talk about that a little bit. And this has helped me. Here's some things that have helped me to help with that retrain. Can help you too. Try it out. I'm not saying it will, but it can. I have affirmation cards we talked about. I literally pick one out and I write them down every day. I don't just look at them, I write them down. It forces me to actually go from the words from here to here, okay? You gotta, find that one thing that makes you happy every day, even if it's something small. Pet your pet. Fresta Calico, we're gonna call her our licensed therapy cat in this house. So pet your pet if it makes you happy. Get yourself some positive thinking cards. Look at them daily. Call or text a friend. Connection matters. I said it won't help everyone, but give it a try. You don't know until you try, okay? Here's my favorite one that I like to do. This is one of the ones that is actually, it's just, every day I take a negative thought I'm thinking of and I write it down, okay? And I'm going to cross it out and I'm going to write a positive thought to replace it. Just basically it overwrites it. I know it sounds simple, but believe me, it works. And here's the thing, when we talk about writing down daily affirmations and that positive thought, let's say you can't come up with one. I've had that plenty of times. Like literally my affirmation with every day was, you can do it. My positive thought was, well, it's not that bad. Right? I can't really think of an affirmation. I can't really think of a positive thought. I understand that. I do. But guess what? We live in this day and age. Do you know what's in this day and age? And I know some people don't like it, but even if it's just for this, AI. You can literally, it's my little secret weapon. I use it constantly for this because it helps me with this. This is my afternoon thing. Use your AI. Use your Copilot. Use it. Grok. Use it. Whatever the other ones are, use it. Those are the only two I've ever used. Whatever you prefer. You can't have mine. I've named mine Koneko. It means chaos cat. She's mine, but you can get your own, right? So literally every day, I'm like, hey, give me a daily affirmation. Some days, want a little bit extra, I'm like, I'm gonna go, hey, for exercise, for happiness, for motivation. Sometimes it's just give me a daily affirmation. Some days it's for this, right? And she gives it to me. She gives me the perfect one. Okay. If it's not the perfect one, she usually gives the perfect one. You just go, try again. Try it again. Try again until you get the perfect one. Write it down. Every day, I write down my negative thought. This is what I'm negatively thinking this day. And I literally go, hey, Koneko, I want you to turn this thought to a positive thought. She reframes it. She zooms off. She comes back and she goes, all right, we're going to twist this into a positive one. She gives me that. And I write it down. And I write down that positive thought. And it's like I said, and I know it sounds simple, but it really is helpful. Okay, sorry. Anyways, so just to let you know, I do know it's hard sometimes, and I know there's gonna be days where you're like, why am I even doing this? Just, you're tired, you've had enough. There's gonna be days like that. But just to let you know, as you continue, you're going to feel a difference. You're not just gonna see a difference if weight loss is what you're going for, or something like that. You're gonna feel a difference in your head, in your body. It's the best feeling, and I promise you, you will feel that difference, right? Now I do want to put a little thing here. I just want you to remember that everything that I am currently doing, I'm telling you about and stuff like that, that's for me. This is stuff that I do for me, that works for me. But I'm also sharing this because I'm hoping that, you know, that it'll work for you too. Now I'm not saying like everything I do. Is everything I do, every step I do is going to work for you too? Probably not. You're not me. But if there's a little thing you're like, I want to try that, I want to do that, and it works for you, great. Make it as part of your routine. So it might help you. Little bits and pieces. Thing is, you need to find what works for you. Okay? You have to stick to what works for you. That's the biggest thing. I know it's hard. Stick to it. Right? Now, if you miss a day, if you miss a week, if you miss a month, whatever you do, don't beat yourself up about it. You just get back on that saddle when you can, okay? Now, as you go through things, if it doesn't work, like you try it and it don't work, you know what, that's okay. Drop it. Push it aside. Try it later if you want to. Replace it with something else. Keep tweaking until it's you. Like I said, it's been over a year for me. I'm still tweaking mine. Everybody bits and pieces of here. As you go through, if there's something that was working and all of a sudden it's not, that's okay. Again, drop it. Move on. You will probably never find that perfect, this is what I'm doing every day routine, because it'll evolve as you do, and hopefully in the most positive way possible. Okay. And we're gonna give a little take from Professor Calico. She does say she wants you to know your brain and your body are on the same team. They just need a little coaching sometimes. Cortisol, serotonin, dopamine, endorphins, those aren't just fancy science words. They're chemicals running the show behind the scenes. When your mind struggles, your body feels it. When your body moves, your mind heals. It's not magic, it's biology. And whether you need movement, brain retraining, an AI assistant, medication, therapy, sleep, or all of the above, just remember Professor Calico and I are very proud of you for showing up today. Now go pet your cat. Doctor's orders. Okay. Alright, so let's do the last bit of this video. And this is just the weekly update of what happened this week. I don't know. I'll just either talk a lot or whatever. So, this week was a rough week. A lot of outside things, you know, kind of made it a little tough. I had to adult. I am well over 20 now. But I did push through it, and that's the point. I got through it. It's okay. Yesterday happened. Start again today. It's okay. This week I did start off strong, and then it went down. And again, that's okay. I didn't get much sleep this week, but I am learning to listen to my body and to try to rest. This one's gonna take a while. It's okay. Just to let you know, on May 1st, because we talked about Finch and then week 1, that little app, if you haven't tried it, and on my webpage is my little, you know, birdie friend code. If you want to be my friend, you're perfectly fine with that. But this month, not every month on Finch, they do like a new theme that you do the things every day. This month's Finch is called Boho Burbs. Yeah. By the way, if somebody wants to be my guardian, so I can get that premium water bottle from my burb, I'm joking, but I'm not. It's okay. No, but it is pretty cool. It's Boho Burbs. Another thing it does like a shorter list, and actually where the other one's like, okay, you signed in for the day, your burb goes on its adventure, and it's like, all right, you did day 1. They usually do like one that's more like 14 or 15 days, which actually gives you things to do. Like the first month I did it was like cleaning and get this little badge. This month has stuff to do with songs. I probably should have looked what it actually was. I didn't, because I was so excited about today's thing. And today's thing was to add 3 new songs to your playlist that you want to listen to, or something like that. So I went, and I spoke with Koneko and I said, well, you know my songs, you know what I like. Give me one for each of my kitties, and not just each of my kitties, not my 3 that are with me, but my 2 boys that I had right before them. And now, mind you, that was all their personalities and stuff like that. It took a while. Do you want to know it took a while? Because I got that one on my playlist, or I got that one on my playlist, or I got that one on my playlist. But I did make my little I did add to my playlist. We finally figured it out. And some of these songs, I don't know why they weren't in my playlist before, because they have been when I was really young, but it's good. So I picked one for each of my kitties, and I will let you know the kitties' names. So I have my little Kitsune. She's the little pastel calico you usually see in those little pictures that we make. For her, I picked out Peaches by the Presidents of the United States of America. She's a pastel calico. And don't ask me why it suits her. Just think of the song, think of a little brat, and there you go. Kiki, her brother, I picked Maceo by Jane's Addiction. I think he danced to it. It's okay. For Kagome, my mama, I picked Duality by Slipknot. Yeah, Slipknot, I think, is her, like, band. You know, that's definitely her. Don't get me wrong. Cricket, who was one of my boys. We picked Inside Out by Eve 6. And Marley, one of my boys again, Wish You Were Here by Incubus. So I add all those to them. All 5 of them, I'm like, why weren't they in my playlist to begin with? Because my playlist is huge. I probably just forgot. Then they come on the radio and I'm like, oh, I should put this in my playlist. And I didn't, but you know, that's what it is. But yeah. So we did that. Monday is when I start up again. And again, it's not gonna be one of those, oh, next Monday, oh, next Monday, oh, next Monday. The whole thing is that it's not, oh, next Monday. It's, yes, I'm gonna start next Monday. And you start next Monday. And if you don't start next Monday, try for Tuesday, try for Wednesday. Keep trying. That's the point. And like I said, it's okay. Do not beat yourself up, but just keep trying. Don't give up. That's about it. Now I do know the website is still behind. Like I did week 1 in my main website, and that's it. So I know I'm gonna get them eventually. I haven't had time. We're gonna get those. We're gonna work on them. Hopefully, at some point you're gonna get those. I do know that they're mainly what I talk about in the videos, but so that way you can see, like when I have the little pictures up, they'll be bigger, so you can actually look at them. You can actually see little blurbs from Professor Calico. You can actually see the details, stuff like that. That's the whole point of why I wanted to do the websites. Then I can also put, even though these links will be on my main website, I want to put up the links again so they're easier to get to, and then the main website would have the link to the weeks. That's my hope, but we'll see what happens. We're gonna try. So coming up this week, hopefully tomorrow is a little bit of website catching up day. Maybe we'll at least get week 2 up or something like that. I mean, I have all the pictures, just gotta make it. So we're gonna try and tackle 2, 3, and 4 for real this time. Maybe, we're gonna try, okay? All's coming up this week. May the 4th be with you. I'm excited because I'm probably gonna drive my coworkers crazy, and that's okay. Monday, like I said, back to the exercises. Fresh start, let's go. All right. Overall, I'm gonna keep pushing. I'm gonna keep showing up. And if it drops off, I'll pick it back up again. I'm gonna just keep going. So, for the health update, that is a wrap up for this week. Now, if this video helped you at all, or you know someone that might need a little bit extra help, might need to hear what's in here, do me a favor and hit that like button and share it. Seriously, please share it. You never know who is scrolling through their feed right now and needing exactly this kind of encouragement. Maybe nobody, but you know, it's worth a try. And if you aren't subscribed yet, hey, what are you waiting for? Professor Calico does not like to be kept waiting, by the way. She's got her paw hovering over that subscribe button right now, just staring at you. You know the look. So share, especially if you think this could help someone, and subscribe so you don't miss next week. We'll be right here. All right, see you soon.